Yo, 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 what's going on, world? It's your boy Naji from Cigar Talk. And today I got a very special guest, man. He's back, man. We just did one, but I had to go do another one just because his son had a fight. It's a lot going on. So, welcome, Mr. Bill Haney.
Hey, thank you, man.
How are you, sir?
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I know you had to get it together, man. Let's get right to it.
Let's get to it.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Let's get right to it.
I'm going to get all the way to it, man. First of all, a lot of people in the community was unhappy with Dev's performance, man. And I don't want to say I was unhappy, but I just felt like I needed to see more, man. I needed to see more. Your son is an elite level fighter. This is the dream Haney we talking about. This is the dream, Bill. But dream deferred, Bill.
Cigar. But we have to have elite level eyeballs looking at the performance.
Yeah.
If your eyeballs aren't elite, then you won't understand what you saw, Cigar. So, I mean, what you did see was, now these are facts.
Yeah, they're so facts.
Robert Garcia is the trainer of the year, correct?
Yep.
Hall of Fame trainer.
Yep.
You know, tremendous fighter. You have Jose Ramirez, two-time champ, unified champion.
Yeah.
Right? Fought for undisputed. Right?
Right. So you say that to say
we
what?
shut them down.
Yeah,
you dig?
But
now,
y'all was gonna do that. We knew y'all would do that.
No. Okay, well then don't down him, crown him. Crown Devin as you got a chance to see another dimension, another layer, and a tremendously talented fighter. You know what I mean?
I don't want to. So I'm not down.
Anytime when you have a fighter like, and I don't mean to cut you off,
go ahead.
but anytime that you have a fighter in Jose Ramirez and you have a corner in Robert Garcia and you make them look ordinary, that's a job that few can do. You know, with a fighter like Devin, he has an arsenal. I like to say a warehouse full of tools. You know what I mean? And we brought out the package that stops them from doing anything. You know, we shut them down. Right.
Yeah, I just feel like you brought extra tools to the job that I don't know if, and when I say this is, I'm not down on your son. I am giving him credit for the comeback, right? Like he had a tough fight with Ryan. So I anticipated that. Like at least the first 6 rounds, I feel like, you know, stick and move, get your timing right, get your shit right back together. It's been a year and change since you've been in the ring.
Right.
But once we seen that he was so much better than Ramirez, foot speed, hand speed, in control. Why he ain't step to him, Bill? I'm like, okay, I want to see him step. I want to see the boy step.
Exactly. But then one thing about the critics, they said that that Devin wasn't experienced, that he didn't understand distance. I think that they said that we couldn't get away from the left hook. Yeah. We showed all those things. We showed that Devin can be disciplined. We showed that he also doesn't have to get hit with a left hook, a right hand, an uppercut, any of it.
Yeah.
So once again, I say that it's more intimidating to them because they say a whole lot of shit, but they do not say that he's easy. You won't say that, you know, and you won't say that he's lost.
Well, you know, what we would say now is because one of the questions that we wanted answered in this fight came because of the Ryan thing is like, has he changed as a fighter as a result of that fight?
He's gotten better. And I'm saying is you're able to see more in his arsenal. I don't think that someone is going to say after that performance, it's going to be easy to go get Dev. It's going to be easy to hit him with a left hook. It's going to be easy to hit him with those things. But, of course, with Devin with the right hand, this is facts. You know, he has had a knockout of the year candidate kind of performance. He showed that he has one of the best jabs in the business. He's shown that.
Wait, knockout of the year? What? Wait, you said knockout?
Antonio Moran. But like I said though, you know, in order to have a career, and especially a Mount Rushmore career, you're going to see an arsenal of things. And like I say, that performance. Stay tuned. You never know what we might do next. We might come out and slug it out.
So that's what I was going to say. I mean, we know it's not a slug. I don't want to see him slugging, but I mean, what y'all did with Regis, where it's like, all right, controlling the center of the ring. Anytime Regis try to rush, you know, using his distance and angles, he beat Regis up. Well,
Regis, let me tell you, Regis was extremely disrespectful, and he continued to be disrespectful. Although he had less punches than even Jose
Ramirez?
Ramirez. I think he had landed 34 punches.
Yeah,
I think Ramirez and Ramirez might have landed 40. So not too far apart, but even Regis was, he talked so much shit. He got an ass whipping and we stopped him from doing shit.
But that's what I'm saying.
But with respect to Jose Ramirez, he didn't really talk a whole lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? He was real professional, and he got a professional ass whipping. You know what I mean? Nice and surgical and detailed and thought provoking. You know what I mean? It was the kind of performance that he goes home and he says, "Damn, what did I do? What couldn't I have done?" It was they were scratching their head. And the most convenient thing to say is that you're running inside of a squared circle.
Mm-hmm.
Now. Only someone with the boxing intellect is either trying to fool you or they don't have one at all to say that there's a place to run inside that square circle. See, they pissing on the people's head and telling them it's raining that you can run in there without turning your back. Well, I'd be more inclined in the sport of maybe an MMA that I talked on another show about is, I don't know, can you turn your back in MMA? Because Devin never turned his back.
No, he stayed in front of him. I guess a lot of the criticism is coming from is they said he threw 70 punches in the fight, right? Like 70. I think Dev has enough skills and enough, the pressure is on him in the sense that he's an elite level fighter, right? Like youngest undisputed champion.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And we expect a lot out of him.
He threw enough punches to win every round. More importantly, that's the part you leave out.
But what about enough punches to hurt him? It was a part where he stunned him. It's like he could step in there and go a little.
He hurt him. Yeah. And when you talk about being a fighter experienced and seasoned, sticking to the game plan that was outlined by your coach, right? I outlined a perfect plan.
So that was your game plan.
Oh, absolutely. And he stuck to it beautifully. And
because Shane said that wasn't his game plan.
Oh, definitely
Shane
not.
Mosley said Bill Haney is just trying to protect the bag. That was the protect the bag program. That's what Shane was saying.
Well, whatever the Bill Haney's trying to protect, either it's the bag or Devin's speech. You dig what I'm saying? But I mean, he speaks extremely well. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yep. He also is getting to the bag. You know what I mean? So we're doing great, and also the fact that we've done business with 7 other world champions that Devin has beaten throughout his career, more than any of the guys that, you might like, the Canelos of the world, the Floyds, Pernell Whitaker. At 26 years old.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
at 26, fighting 7 world champions and winning. By the time Oscar De La Hoya was 26, he had already lost. So to say that Bill Haney shouldn't be guiding your career. Well, look, I mean, hey.
But Bill, y'all gonna get a lot of hate if you continue to make that the game plan. Your son is gonna incur a lot of hate because of that. When we know and we've seen him be more offensive, like we've seen that.
Well, the haters are losing and we're winning. You know what I mean? And if that continues to happen, then so be it. But you win or you lose. I mean, and the haters are picking the losers. They need to switch over to the winning team.
All right, hold up. Did you see? I seen Showbiz. Showbiz, the adult.
Show nothing. That's what I call him. I don't call him Showbiz.
He said he thinks there should be a rule, and I think he said it's because of your son that a ref should be able to take points for running. So he's like, yo, your son was running the whole fight, and the ref should be able to take points for that. What do you think about that?
And content creators need to be put on punishment for running their mouths. You know what I mean? That's what Showbiz is doing because, when you have the opportunity to artfully, intelligently, cover this wonderful sport of ours, he's trolling. And he's definitely trolling when he's talking about changing the rules because of a young fighter like Devin Haney at 26.
I don't think he's trolling. Yeah. I think he's serious.
Well, okay, even if he's serious, he's got to be a damn fool. If you think that in all the years of boxing that it's not an art to using every inch of the ring, and that's what I love about New York City.
It is.
I mean, listen. In
New York City,
in New York City,
a balance.
It's a New York. In New York City, you can live in an apartment this size. And every inch of it is being used. And so when you talk about the ring, that's what it's for. You're supposed to use every inch of it.
But it's a balance, Bill. Where's
No.
the part where Dev going put the? I just feel like when he's so much better than the guy, and we know it and we see it.
I got the balance for you.
Where?
It's a perfect balance, win or lose.
Oh my God! You know this is boxing. It ain't just win or lose though. I seen guys lose. I seen guys lose, but still kind of win. And I seen guys win, but still kind of lose.
Oh my God!
I'm
Now
just
listen.
saying.
Don't go home and say that because you will have your whole family confused, right? I know in my household, right? You win or you lose. You lose, you go back to the drawing board. You win, you continue moving forward. That fight, we've moved forward, and we're looking for the next challenge, and that's the way it goes.
Well, the next challenge is, to me, uncertain now, right? Ryan Garcia lost. Obviously, that was the...
See, there you go. You start out with a loss, then you start out with uncertainty.
But he also didn't look good, though.
Huh?
He didn't just lose it, like, because you could lose and look good. He lost and looked bad. So I'm like, now, are you feeling like, uncertain about the rematch?
Hey, I don't know anything about, losing is bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of course, being disrespectful in the way that Ryan Garcia has been disrespectful, the Garcia family, you know what I mean, and everything about them, that's an ultimate grudge match, no different than Teofimo Lopez and his dad, and of course, no different than Rolly Romero and,
Oh, yeah, I want that Rolly smoke too?
And, Rolly Romero and himself, just him himself. But, with due respect, we don't have no friends in boxing. We don't have any friends. So all of them are good fights. You know what I mean? Some, like I say, we have more passion in it. You know what I mean? We have more, inclined to get in the ring with them, right? Mm-hmm. But we're not friends with anyone. We want to make the biggest and the best fights happen.
So, but keep it real. When you saw Ryan lost, are you in your mind like, damn, the bag just changed because he didn't uphold his end of the deal?
Down goes their narrative.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen, down goes their narrative that PEDs don't help. I'm sure I had a smile, and on the inside I says, down goes all the haters that say that Ryan Garcia has all this power and all this everything.
All right, I will admit, live on Cigar Talk, that Ryan, I definitely feel like Ryan used some PEDs. Based on this performance, based on what I just seen, I think that was a clear indication of PEDs. However, I can't discount like he doesn't have power, right? Like before the PED stuff, he was still knocking shit out. He still was stopping a lot of guys.
You're only good as your last performance, and what we got a chance to see was the Ryan Garcia. You never knew that he was on PEDs or not, and the PEDs never became an issue until Devin Haney. So a fighter that's fighting, that's in VADA 365, 24/7, that's being, that then gave his whereabouts where he's at now. He's in Miami. He didn't call VADA and says he's open to get tested right now. Just because it provides another lane to the young fighters of the world, the Shamar Canals of the world who are with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Abdullah Masons of the world, right? They deserve to have a fair shot, and they deserve to know that these fighters and these promoters are not vocal about this drug use, this PED use. Since now, in the Devin Haney era,
yeah,
PED use is a topic. Sides of the streets have no longer been an issue. The narrative that you need to be with the promoter, the big promoter, that you need to be attached to anyone. I think with Devin, it represents being talented and having a great team around you.
I mean, I want to say y'all started it, but I definitely think for this generation, y'all represent that for sure. But with regard to Ryan, are you trying to say...
I don't know who did start it if we didn't.
You mean? Come on, man. Don't act like Floyd don't exist, Bill. Floyd created the blueprint. Floyd is the blueprint.
Well, Floyd was in contract disputes with Bob Arum before he could be Floyd. Before he can be the money man, he had to get out of a contract dispute with not only a promoter, but he had a manager issue. He's had several issues from a legal perspective with ownership to his brand and his name.
Sure.
We came out the gate being a representative of what he laid out, but as men, we get better. So Devin is definitely the blueprint to the younger fighters.
Are you saying you feel like Ryan Garcia was on PEDs prior to Devin's fight?
Oh, he could have been. He could have been. I can't say what he was on. I can only
But
say
you think
for sure.
that? Do you think that?
Well, I can't. I can't. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I can't. I can't afford to speculate. You know what I mean?
What does that mean? Like lawsuits?
Yeah.
You don't want to get a lawsuit
Yeah,
on you?
I can't afford to speculate. You know what I mean? But one thing that I can speak on is that he is a convicted PED user. You know what I mean?
So a rematch happening next. Me personally, I still want to see the fight. I just don't know if I want to see it next. I feel like after how he looked against Rolly, it lost a little bit of steam because he didn't look good. Like it wasn't like a competitive, like it looked like Ryan still had something. So I'm like, I don't know if next it feels like as a fan of this shit, that's like the one.
You don't want to see. You want to see Ryan get another one and another one. You want to see
Just a
Ryan
win
get
off.
back
I
before.
wanna see him look good.
You want to see him get. You want to see him look good enough to be in there with Devin. I think that after the performance that we had, we were really still willing to go into an agreement and fight him. That's what shows what real courage. That what shows what real belief in your team, belief in your fighter, and more importantly, Devin's belief in his talent is. He was ready to go back right in there with him. You know what I'm saying? After being down 3 times, right? That's what shows what a real warrior is, and he still is willing to go back in there with him. You know what I mean? And with anybody. Let me clear that up. With him or anybody, we just want a clean and fair fight.
What did Devin say to you after the fight, right? Like, obviously, it had to be a relief off his shoulders, even though, like I say, he's getting criticized, whatever the case is. But I got back in there and got the win. What was your conversations like post-fight?
I think Devin, you know what I mean? More jokingly, you know what I mean? He was more jokingly around about the Ryan Garcia performance. It was nothing real serious that he had to say.
Yeah.
But, you know, we kind of looked at each other, and it was kind of just an unwritten way of saying, you know, that's who we know Ryan to be.
Yeah, yeah. Just as far as what's next with Turkey Al-Sheikh, have y'all spoken to him since the fight?
No. Let me take that back. I don't know if Devin has. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got two different numbers and two different people we talked to from on that team. You know, the Sela and the Ring team, and Devin talks directly to Turkey, and I talk to someone else.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, and I haven't had any communication.
From what I heard, Turkey was supposed. I think Dan Rayfield reported today that Turkey is supposed to talk to Ryan Garcia to just kind of see where he's at, and then see if it's a fight that's worth fighting next. Do you want that fight next?
Of course. We signed up for it. We promoted it, and we won't be the ones to say or give any excuses to the fight. We're here for it. We understand that at this level, all of the guys pose a different risk. You know what I mean? But it's the fight business. It's definitely what Devin has signed up for, and you know I support him.
I'm gonna tell you like this, Bill. If y'all fight like that against a guy that's throwing some volume, it ain't gonna look good. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now.
Been good 32 times.
Bill, I'm telling you now.
We're 32
y'all
and
better
0.
not do that.
We 32 and 0, and we got a warehouse full of shit to do to his favorite fighter and his favorite
Who's my
favorite
fighter? Who's my favorite fighter?
Devin Haney versus everybody. It don't matter.
Everybody?
Everybody in or around his division.
In or around?
In
that means
or around
40,
his division.
47.
That's what I said.
There's a boogeyman at 47, Bill. Y'all better stop playing.
A boogeyman to you.
to every Bill, it's a boogeyman at 47. You know who he is. Don't play them games.
Oh, you want to tell me like somebody at any one of those weight divisions have not been criticized for certain things and shown certain vulnerabilities to certain fighters. And when we talk about any one of the fighters that you could be talking about, we talk about something that Devin has in the warehouse that he can go get.
You know what? That was a smooth answer. I got it. Let's be more specific. I'm talking about Boots Ennis.
Listen,
I'm talking about Jerron Boots Ennis. That's what I'm talking about.
I said that I didn't know who or care who you were talking about.
No, I know, but now
what I said
yeah.
applies to Boots Ennis and anyone else.
Hold on,
I said Devin Haney versus everybody.
Hold on, so you saying Devin has tools in the bag to beat Boots, basically?
Devin has tools in the bag that beat and remind you of everything that any fighter you have seen showed the vulnerability to Boots or any other fighter. Devin has those, if not more, in his tool chest.
Okay.
Warehouse, I should say.
I seen you
Do
on.
you understand that? You understand what I just said?
I understand it. I'm not sure.
All right, do you agree?
Yeah, I don't know if I agree. I don't know if I agree.
Okay.
I would say this.
So you just said that your guy, that you said Boots, which I have a tremendous respect for Bozy and Boots and what they bring. Did you say he was perfect?
Perfect? No. I don't think any fighter's perfect. Okay. Well, maybe Floyd, maybe. Floyd. But
what are the things that made you think that Boots wasn't perfect?
Minor things. Like I thought in the first Karen fight, he could have done a better job cutting the ring off. I think that was one thing. But
so if you can't cut the ring off on Karen, do you think you have a better job at cutting it off on Devin?
Maybe not. I think Karen has great footwork also, but the other part of it is
when you talk about footwork, does Karen or Devin, which one has the better footwork?
I would say Devin.
Okay. So there's
but it ain't just you got to throw punches to beat him because he's gonna walk you down.
So there's one aspect right there.
Mm-hmm. And what's the other ones?
Did he throw a bunch of punches at Karen?
Yeah. Yeah. More than Ramirez threw, I'll tell you that. Yeah.
So that was one. So with Karen, that was one of his high volume punch output performances.
No,
I'm not sure. I'm just asking you
let's go to
that's your favorite fighter. That's your boogeyman. So
yeah, he's a boogeyman. I mean? But
okay.
I'm saying is I think naturally, lateral movement reduces a guy's punching output, right? Like for the most part, we see that, right? Even the Canelo Williams Skull fight, if you can use lateral movement effectively, it will reduce the punch count, sure. But at the same time, you still got to land punches. So my thing is I just don't know at that weight, especially.
Does Devin have a problem going lateral and throwing punches?
But when he comes in, he gonna get something back though. That's the problem.
I'm asking, does he have a problem doing that?
No.
Okay. So you're answering your questions right
no,
there.
No, but we not talking about we talking about
what I'm saying
a guy
is
that can throw it back though.
Devin is built as the perfect dance partner, the perfect opponent, the perfect adversary for anybody. Your favorite fighter or your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. We're ready. It's Devin Haney versus everybody.
Yeah, I love the confidence, brother. I'm with you. Listen, I'm a Devin Haney fan. You know what I'm saying? I love the confidence, but I just say at 47,
I can feel the energy changing.
I like the kid. I just didn't like this last performance. I just think he's too good to have a performance like that. That's why I think your son is an elite level fighter, and he could have beat him up. I think he just won, but he ain't beat him up. That's what I'm saying.
Has anyone ever did that to Ramirez? Shut him down like that?
Shut him down. I don't know. Not that I can recall off the top. I'm gonna have to chat GBT to make sure. Right. I'm gonna have to ask chat GBT to make sure. But
right. Well, I'll give you an answer. No. I'll give you that answer. No. And when they were talking about when you talk about a high volume Mexican pressure fight, right? Mm-hmm. I understand that. You know what I mean? I grew up on the West Coast, so I know what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And for them, SO. When there's no SO, I know what that means. That means Papi got shut down.
Yeah.
And that's the real talk. I mean, and as you can see, the way the tide has shifted in terms of the talking points, the bots, the trolls, and how they were paying for the engagement is running short. Because at the end of the day, beating 7 champions at 26 will last a lot longer than the chit chat.
You know the question that has still been unanswered by that fight, and I guess what I wanted to see was, is Devin scared to get hit? And I think that's one of the main things that we didn't get a chance.
He's telling the truth now. Live on Cigar Talk.
Live, baby.
You know what they're mad about? They're mad because Devin didn't get hit. They wanted to see him get hit with a flush shot. And guess what Bill Haney did? Bill Haney said that's not the game plan.
Now you're right.
That's not what we're going to do. And guess what? Devin stuck to it. Can you imagine that? Because with all the criticism and all the people and everything, for him to stick to a game plan from a coach, right, who's saying tonight he's not going to hit you with shit.
But my thing is, when you got a guy with enough foot speed that's going to make you fight, that's what I didn't have any doubts that he could beat Ramirez. I thought he would beat him up a little more. But my thing is Devin scared to get hit because he's going to come across some other guys that's going to make you fight. You're not going to have a choice to just do that. That ain't going to work.
Now, they said before the fight, they said Ramirez was going to stop Dev.
Who said that?
Ramirez camp.
Oh,
Mikey
yeah.
Garcia.
He supposed to say. They supposed to say that. No, they supposed to say that.
And your good friend Ellie.
Ellie Sec back.
Yeah.
They supposed to say that. Yeah, I don't think he likes y'all.
All right.
Y'all
Okay.
yeah.
So that was the narrative, right? And if I had came and told you, I said, you know what, Jose Ramirez ain't gonna hit him with shit. Everyone said, no, it's part of boxing. He's gonna get hit. He's gonna get hit. Right or wrong?
Anyone without a brain, maybe, or on his team. I don't think anyone really thought that Ramirez could beat Devin for real. At least nobody I know. Nobody I know.
That's contradicting your question, because the one thing that you went to go and watch intently is, can Devin still take a punch? Is he still going to be the same after a punch?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You're going to have to tune in to the next fight. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's tune in.
But that's the question that's the question we need answered. Because they saying, oh, all right, well, he fighting scared because maybe he can't take the punch. That's what, that's the narrative that's happening.
Maybe
now.
the next time we'll give you guys some action at seeing it. Just watch, tune in.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I give Devin shit just because he is an elite level fighter. And it's not just him. I gave Boot shit when it was Karen. Karen won. I thought Karen 2 was good. I gave Shakur shit on De Los Santos as well. So, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a high standard for high level fighters.
Yeah. But it's a sweet science to it. You know what I mean? This is not just Charlie Brown stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? It's a science. And it's more than one way to win a fight. You know what I mean? You got to win. But Devin showed the dimension that he has another dimension in his game. What
about because a lot of people, Shakur got a lot of criticism for his De Los Santos fight, right? Like, people said that was boring and this and that. Do you feel like, I guess based on that, like that style, do you appreciate that style? Like, even when Shakur does it, do you appreciate that?
Like I said, you got to win. You know what I'm saying? It's all about winning. I appreciate every fighter, right? And all those guys are good. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that they can beat Devin. I believe that Devin is something special about Devin. No offense to Shakur, no offense to any of the other fighters.
Yeah. Where do y'all go from here? Is it 47? Like, we at 47? Is it we want to go back down to 40? You as the trainer, you as the lead. Where do you see it going?
Devin is one of the best fighters in the world, right? And we work to get in this position. We know they're looking at us.
Everybody. What you think about the point where people were saying, Tim Bradley said this too, he said he feels like a lot of the fighters now, especially with Turkey Al-Sheikh, they're getting paid so much that they don't really care about the outcome. Like, I'm okay just, I can have a boxing night and just box and not really put on an entertaining performance, and it don't matter because I just got 10 million or 15 million, whatever the price tag is.
Timothy Bradley is entitled to his opinion. I think he's more, he does a lot more trolling than he did actual fighting. You know what I mean?
Oh, don't do that. Tim Bradley used to get it fight. Don't do that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is he's trolling right now. He used to be a fighter, but now he's just trolling.
Okay.
But even that, I don't remember hearing that Timothy Bradley is undisputed. I don't never remember him undisputing in a division, right? So Timothy Bradley's opinion to me, you know what I'm saying? He's just, like I said, he's just trolling. The object is winning. And, these fighters, as you see, too, it's a dangerous, dangerous sport, right? You see a lot of guys talking and they have that speech slur in it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what the fighters are getting paid, we shouldn't, complain about. You know what I mean?
Even outside your son, I'm saying like somebody like Ryan who he ain't really throw no punches. I feel like Ryan didn't, I don't want to say he didn't try, but he ain't let his hands go. Like, I didn't get it, like outside of the PED stuff. But somebody like that, would you say like he's just happy to just get the check and go home?
It's about peaking and performing on that night. You know what I'm saying? You might have had a better night at the gym than you had at that night. You know what I'm saying? You might feel a little bit better the next night after the fight, or you know what I mean? It's just peaking on that particular night. And Ryan didn't have the performance that he would have liked to. So that's on his team. That's on his team to figure out.
If you don't get the Ryan Garcia fight next, who do you want?
I told you it was Devin Haney versus everybody.
Give me a name, Bill.
Listen.
Give me a name.
all of the names.
Yo, stop ducking the smoke. Give me a name. We want a name.
You say a name and I say yes. That's all. There won't be a no.
Connor Ben.
The yes. You won't say a name. You won't say a name. You cannot say a name that Devin style and who Devin is not ready for. Next.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all not taking Boots next. That's crazy. If I was you, I wouldn't do that. That's like to me, that's like a kind of crazy thing to do.
Well,
just because he's been there at 47, that's crazy. That's crazy to do.
And with that part, Boots being at 147 for so long, and Devin just now, he hasn't even gotten to the division. He fought at 144. We could still go to 140. We can go to 147 in that within that thinking. But I would be remiss or disrespectful to Devin and Boots if I didn't say that's a fight that Devin is looking at. You know what I mean?
Y'all fight Shakur at 140?
We'll fight all of them. There's not nobody that you can name that we won't fight, brother.
Okay. I like that. I heard an interview with the real Rick Ross, and he said he was talking about Floyd Schofield Sr. and his son. And he said that he feel like, he knows him. I think they might have been signed to him at some point. But in any event, the real Rick Ross said that he feels like, Floyd Schofield Sr. was like, we going to take the Bill Haney blueprint. And I guess he said it was some kind of like animosity towards y'all or whatever. But I guess when you see them, like when you see other dads being vocal, do you feel like this is a blueprint that you created modern day? Is that like a thing?
Well, Floyd Schofield should have just took my name like Rick Ross took his, and he should just be Bill Haney, and I could be the real Bill Haney. You dig?
You got problem with Floyd Schofield Sr.?
Huh?
The way Rick Ross said it, it made it seem like y'all had an issue or something like that.
No, that's my son.
Schofield Sr.?
Yeah, Schofield Sr. is my son.
Hold up, but do you feel like do you have a relationship with him?
Huh?
You have a relationship
He's my son. I'm part of that, don't you understand? I'm not proud about it, but he's my son.
He ain't gonna like this when he see it, Bill. He ain't gonna like this when he sees it.
Hey, he got enough shit that's going on in his life for not to like, so just add this in there.
Do you take credit for making the loud, boisterous father thing like a blueprint? Like, is that a thing that you taking credit for?
You're asking questions. Is that what? Am I known for that? First, you have to ask me, am I known? Do I?
Well, we know you're known for that, but I'm saying is, do you create it? We know you're known for that, but I'm saying, do you think you made it a model, like where people like, all right, I could use this. My dad can come and do this.
You know what? I'd rather be known for having my sons back. You know what I mean? The energy that I have at times. A lot of times it's promoted by the media when there's a problem. But a lot of times when there's the love and harmony, so many times that goes unreported. You know what I mean? And they want to mention the other side. But I take it in stride.
Okay. I was at the Knicks game the other day, and I ran into my guy, Worldwide Wes.
Oh, Worldwide Wes.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Wes. You bigger than this show. I didn't know he was going to bring your name
Come
up.
on, man.
Are you sure we can talk about this?
That's my man.
You sure we can mention
Worldwide?
Wes?
I might have to bring him on the show. That's my man. Worldwide.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That brother's a good brother. A mentor to me. He's been good to my family, and I didn't even know that you knew him and that you were going to mention him.
I'll tell you a quick crazy story. This is how I met him. This is me, the New York hustler. You know what I'm saying? I'm a New York hustler for real.
Okay.
So this is the Barclays opening. Jay-Z's 40-40 and at the Barclays. They did the 40-40 opening. Big event. Everybody outside. New York City. All the celebrities. Everything. Everybody out. At the time, I was like interning for Rock Nation. So, I'm trying to get on the list, but I'm an intern. So niggas I couldn't get on the list, but I went anyway. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to pull up, do what I do. So I pull up. Now I had a couple of my homies with me. And, I'm suited and booted. It's one of them events. And as I'm walking up, now mind you, at this time especially, this is probably, 2012, 2013, something like that. So it's like social media is still a thing, but it ain't like today. At this time, people ain't really seen Worldwide Wes. It ain't like you could just see him. He don't do no media. You don't really see him. So I'm walking up, confidence on 100, looking good, blazer, smelling good. And the girl goes, "Are you Worldwide Wes?" And I was like, As a matter of fact, I am. So I knew this was my only chance to get in. So she thought I was Wes, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm him. So I walk in, she's like, all right, come with me. Who's with you? And then literally, I guess somebody must have phoned in and told them that he was coming, because me and my people was like, yo, these my boys right here. We good. So we coming in, and then I see the actual Worldwide Wes walking up as I'm doing this whole shit. And I was like, oh yeah, he's with me too. So she looks and she's like, all right, everybody come on in. But Wes is looking at me like, who the fuck is this? Like, who is this? Right. So we get in the whole shit, and he's like, yo, who are you? Yeah. And I was like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm just a guy from New York, and they thought I was you. So I told them I was you so I could get in. And he thought it was the funniest shit. Like, he laughed. Crazy. And then we started talking, and he gave me his number, and I met him like on some shit like that. So anyway, I seen him at the Knick game, and he's like, yo, what's up? What you been up to? Da da da. And I'm like, yo, I got a podcast, man. And then we start talking about boxing, and he said, yeah, actually, I know Bill Haney. I said, how the hell you know Bill Haney?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how did y'all meet? Like, because Worldwide Wes is one of them power players in the sports world, man.
He's my big brother. Like I said, he's a mentor. But no one knows how special family is to Wes. You know what I mean? And that's what he is to me. He's special, and just as a dad, right? The things that he does for his family, and the concern he has for his family, and I was like, I just admired that about Wes from the time that I've met him. How devoted he is as a father and a family man.
Well, now that you're in New York, man, you're going to have to be a Knicks fan, brother. We ain't taking nothing less. You're going to have to start supporting the Knicks, B. You know what I mean?
Support the Knicks unless they play the Warriors or they play LA. If they don't play the Warriors or they don't play the Lakers, then I'm with the Knicks.
Yo, this is the second half of what y'all been calling the DHP era. What is this next half dedicated to? What does this next half look like to you?
Nothing changes. We'll continue to make our move, in Devin's case, towards the Mount Rushmore of boxing, doing things that normally at 26 you wouldn't be interested in doing, making the big fights happen. He sent me with one job and that's to keep his name on the chopping block, right? If you think that you can do it, then come on, step up.
Has he ever told you, like, yo, Dad, you doing too much? Like, stop. Like, chill, relax. Yeah. Sometimes you be wilding. I ain't gonna lie.
No, yeah, the other day when we were at the jewelry store, the picture, if you ever see the picture on my Instagram, right, and we're laughing, that's because I started to say the best in the world, right? The best in the world, Devin the Dream Haney in the jewelry store. Yeah. He said, Dad, chill. And we fell out laughing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, so we always have a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? A lot of little inside jokes and stuff. Because it's been one hell of a ride, Cigar Talk. It's been one hell of a ride.
I see your other son trying to box now. You trying to make this a family? Is this like a family thing now?
Shout out to Sean Haney, who's testing all my parent-to-partner patience. Yeah. You dig? Yeah. Because he was a tremendous standout in tennis. And what I always... my first thing that I promote and I encourage is to see the star at home and not on television. And for Sean, who we spent a good time of his life on a tennis court where he got really good at. And he just said one day, Dad, I like boxing, Dad. I want to try boxing. And, I looked at him first and, I said, are you sure? And then we, of course, took maybe a month or two of him just training as a boxer to see how he liked it. Mm-hmm. And then we did one sparring session in Big Bear, and then we did this other sparring session
the video.
In Morris Park up in the Bronx. And he's excited. And like I said, I'm with him. I'm a partner in my last name. I don't own the last name. Of course, Bill Haney. I'll talk all this shit, do what Bill Haney wants to do. But when it comes to Sean and Bella and Devin and Little, and you know what I mean? I'm partners with them and theirs.
I ain't gonna lie, he should stick to tennis, brother. It ain't that many brothers over there. You could go dominate over there.
Well, that was my plan.
Go dominate over there. Ain't that many of us.
Allah's the perfect planner. And, I had a plan, and, of course, Allah had another plan. Yeah. And he's inspired by it, and he's happy. So, in life, if you can be happy with what you're doing in life, you know what I mean, then you've lived. And I hope that all my kids can live a wonderful life. full of happiness.
Speaking of wonderful life, we was on FaceTime the other day. You showed me your new penthouse that you was, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, now I didn't even know he was going to tell me. I told him that there's a new
Yo,
king of New York
like,
here, and he got mad. He got mad. I showed him
right.
the 360
right.
and told him what my dad, what a wonderful job Devin has done for his dad, and my dad would be proud of what me and Devin have accomplished. Man, I'm just happy. I'm here in New York City.
I just wanted to say that, you know what I'm saying? I'm appreciative of your time, and, you know, I'm happy as brothers to see y'all succeed. But you got to stop at that King of New York shit, baby. This is my city, Bill. I don't want to hear that King of New York stuff from the West Coast guy. We not doing that.
Okay, but
Man.
I mean, you have to come in and talking king shit. I'm telling all the brothers, whether you're black and brown, listen, go home. They're stars at home and not on television. Don't pay attention to me. Pay attention to that beautiful son or that beautiful daughter that you have. Right. That's real king shit.
I like that.
And I'm going to be the new king of New York. But I'm talking the right shit to the other kings and queens.
I like that. Lastly, this guy Teofimo Lopez, man. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like what he stands for. I seen your tweet the other day. Actually, I probably shouldn't even talk about him because I'm on some like, you know, you just got to put goofies on goofy time and not mention them because they kind of love this type of attention. But I guess just because he was on y'all card, I saw your tweet the other day.
Right.
He's been doing a lot of racist shit, saying a lot of racist things. I'm of the mind frame that I'd prefer he not get a fight just because I seen him complaining about money before, and I really don't want nobody to feed him. But at the same time, I do want him to get his ass whooped. But how do you feel about that? Is that a fight that's like because of all of that?
He should have took the offer that Turkey put on the table for Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez to fight. That was the original fight.
When was that? I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that was the original fight before the Ryan Garcia fight was on the table. Turkey had put something on the table for Devin and also put it on the table for Top Rank. Top Rank called and talked to me about it. The lawyer over at Top Rank, who's a, you know what I mean, we've done great business together. He was a tremendous guy. He called me and he said that this is what was on the table for Teofimo, an opportunity. I didn't know what the money was. He said it was an opportunity. He says, did you guys get the same call? I said, yes, I got a call as well from Sella and Turkey. And I said that, you know, we're with it. We signed off on our side. He said, I'll give you a call back. He told me that Teo didn't sign off on his, and he thought that Teo was missing out on a great opportunity. We moved on. We talked about doing a fight with another network. We ended up getting a call from this Sela team in Turkey. Well, Devin actually got the call to come to Saudi Arabia. And then we made the deal. Oh, no, excuse me.
That was
to
in
come
London.
To come to London.
Yep.
To come to London to meet. And, of course, Teo was there, but he wasn't on the table because he took himself off the table. So, to me, that's an ultimate grudge match. And Devin will whip his ass for everything that he said. But, I mean, I think that he's reaching into a bag because he hasn't crossed over in a way that you shouldn't have to do all that. You shouldn't have to put on the sex mask, the little, what is that? The little the dominatrix mask. He put that on. Then he have the mascara with the pirate shit one day with the what is that? A
little sword or whatever.
And then, you know, he comes back with that. So, you know, he has all these things. Then he reaches into the racist bag. You know what I mean? And I think that your work should speak for itself. And when he's not speaking, it should be someone that's speaking for him and letting the world know what's going on with them. And he's just working extremely hard. I don't think that, you know, Bob comes out every now and then and has something to say. You know, that shit is too slow and, you know, not getting the dough, right, for him.
Yeah.
Right?
Hold up. What did y'all get a reason why he didn't take the fight, or was it just like they're not taking?
No, he just did. He didn't.
Was the bag crazy though? Was it?
The bag was it was cool with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was cool with us for that kind of fight. You know, at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he fits the bill. You know what I'm saying? He fits whether it's him, Rolly, or Ryan. You know what I mean? All of them are the same to us.
You
They
think
fit
he's
the
really
next fight.
racist, or you think he's trying to do it for like promotion and clout?
Well, you got to be racist when that's your bag to go in to offend and to draw attention.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
If that's that bag you go in, then that's what you feel, and you know that it's going to set people off by saying something racist, then you're a racist. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But it's a lot of undercover racism in boxing. You just getting a chance to see him. So this is a business that that I have to work in, right? And I don't mind because I'm doing it for Dev, right? It's racist people in the world. It's just that the ones that I tend to understand more as the ones that are more out with it than the ones that it's hidden.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Lastly, I want to ask you this: when I interviewed your son,
Lastly, that means he's running out of bullets, y'all.
Nah,
You
nah,
dig? And I don't want y'all to be getting on him. He did the best he could.
listen, we was on
He
his
did the
ass in the
best he
beginning. We
could.
see that. We was on.
Listen,
I ain't
he
let
did
him
the best
run like
he-
Ariel.
Listen, he
You know what
did
I
the
mean?
best he could. I'm gonna tell y'all, he did the best, and you did do the best.
You know what I'm saying?
But listen, everyone in the comments and troll that.
Bill, I had you in the corner like
Listen,
I had you in the
that-
corner like this, Bill.
it's like-
I had you in the corner though.
But Cigar in real life, he's a real person, my dude. He's a real person that really respects hard work and dedication is something that you know
true.
that we've done. You know what I mean? And I always appreciate an opportunity for coming on here and kicking it with you.
Nah, likewise. Like I said, we gonna talk some real shit, but I ain't no hater. You know what I'm saying? I respect what y'all do. I wanted to ask you, when I interviewed your son, he told me that the story with him in Turkey, I guess this was in London, but he said the bag was so crazy that he was like, yo, me, my brother, and my pops, we went in there into the meeting like, yo, we gonna negotiate, don't take the first offer, da-da-da-da-da. And y'all had a whole game plan, and he was like, we got in the meeting, and Turkey said a number that was so crazy that nobody didn't say nothing. We kind of just looked at each other.
And that's the thing about Turkey and about being fair, right? Is that there was no need to, and we're not over negotiating. You know what I mean? We're not because it's the first number. If the number is right, then we're gonna roll with it. You know what I mean? And that could have been. We could have got more, but what was fair was fair. He gave the right number. We agreed to it, and you know what I mean? It was good business. We do good business. That's it.
Okay. Well, listen, man, I'm looking forward to seeing all of these fights that y'all talking about. Boots Ennis, Shakur Stevenson, Connor Ben. Who I don't want to say Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis in that mix now too. Keyshawn Davis.
Yeah, like your man said on Twitter, so scared.
Yo, listen, Shakur Stevenson, man, we want to see that. That's a long running fight that's supposed to have been happen. You know what I'm saying? And this time it's a little different. You know.
Well, next time it's on the table, then you gonna make sure you take it.
If it's not 25%, yeah. Yeah, we go. Yeah, I'm gonna be on his ass. You know what I'm saying? I'll be on his ass if it's you know what I'm saying? If it ain't a low ball for sure. 100%. Let's do it. Let's set it up. Cigar Talk, the new Don King. Let's set it up, Bill.
We'll see.
Yo, listen, man. Dope episode of Cigar Talk. I had to do part 2. My man Bill Haney. We out of here.